All right, welcome back. You are listening to Softcore Detachment, the podcast where soft hearts grow sharp boundaries and healing gets gloriously unhinged. I'm your host, Catalina, recovering perfectionist, certified chaos gremlin, and softcore CEO of Emotional Detachment. Due to some scheduling issues and the holiday craziness, my partner in crime, Miss Joni Parks, is not with me today. So we are going to change up the format a little bit, and you are going to get ready with me while I go to the gym this morning. We're going to talk about one of my favorite subjects around this time of year, and that is New Year's resolutions and why they don't really work and what you can do instead. We're going to help you create systems that actually do work so that you can get your softcore raccoon glow going on in 2026. All right, let's get messy. Okay, my beautiful people, here's the deal. New Year's resolutions sound great right now because chances are pretty good you have really enjoyed yourself this holiday season. You've got family in town, you've got sweet treats all over the place, you're out of your regular routine, you haven't been going to the gym regularly, or maybe you're highly motivated for other reasons, something else came up, and you're ready to make a change. And that's fabulous. When you're motivated or when you're kind of sick of your own shit is a great time to get something going. But if you've been listening to the podcast or if you've been paying attention to any of this kind of rhetoric at all, you know that motivation doesn't last. It's a feeling. You don't need to discipline harder, okay? You need systems. You're exhausted, you're burnt out, you don't need to try harder. That's not going to fix this. You need habits and you need discipline. So that's what we're going to work on today. Now, the glitz and glamour of New Year's resolutions are fabulous. And I fall prey to that for a couple of different reasons. Number one, I'm a personal trainer. January is kind of like the glitz and glam. This is the go time. This is the big league. This is the show. This is where I shine. In addition, I'm a Capricorn. January is my birthday month. So bring it on. I love thinking about the year that I had. Did I grow? Did I learn? Am I just doing the same shit over and over again? And what am I going to do differently or better next year? I fall prey to this as well. However, I have great systems in place. I do a lot of different sorts of things to try and help me reach my goals. And we're going to talk about some of that. So a lot of resolutions are outcomes based, right? I'm going to lose 30 pounds. I'm going to make X money. I'm going to travel the world. They don't tell you about the behavior that's going to help you get there. So that's the first thing we're going to try and fix. They're also often rooted in like shame and self-criticism. Again, you're at the end of the holiday season. You're feeling a little over yourself. You've overindulged. Perhaps, again, something came up and you're not fitting into your clothes. Who knows? I'm not going to try and write what's going on in your head and this script that you're telling yourself about why you need to make this change now. I talked to a really lovely young lady last night that was just the opposite. She had an amazing year. In the last few months, she lost tons of weight. She did it on her own through YouTube, through diet and exercise, and now she's ready to take it to that next level. So who knows your why? I'm totally here for it no matter what. But motivation is a feeling. It is fleeting. It's going to come and go. We've got to find something to anchor you. We've got to find something that's going to keep you going even when you don't want to, so that we can push through that all the way through this year, next year, and beyond. All right? If you think about it, the environmental stressors, the things that are going to come up in your life, people coming in and going out, work, things that you can't predict. All those things are going to happen. One of the traps that people get into is when they say, I'll do something, I'll do this when this happens. Or once I don't have this on my plate, then I'll take care of myself. When work calms down a little bit, then I'll take care of myself. And that is a dangerous trap to get into because there will always be something else on your plate. There will always be family stress. There will always be another work project. There will always be another breakup or a comfortable relationship that makes you want to eat more bagel breakfast sandwiches. Okay? So that is a trap, and it is very easy to fall into. But you have to find something that works now, all the time, no matter what, pushing through all those other what ifs and if then I wills. Otherwise, you'll never start and you'll never push through. The other thing to think about is how do I put this? Like the TikTok and the Instagram culture that says, you know, if you had started 60 days ago, you'd be here by now. Or the intensity that, you know, a lot of these folks are showing ramping up this time of year. And we all know by now that that's not the full picture. They're showing this beautiful, curated version that they want to show of their lives. So please don't feel bad about that. Don't feel like you're falling behind or like you should have started earlier or anything else like that. You don't know the full picture of what people are showing you. Focus on yourself. Use certain things for inspiration, and that's fabulous and that's great, okay? But don't let that make you feel bad about your own journey. You have your own steps that you've taken, the own path that you've walked, and your own future ahead of you. So don't feel bad or let other people feel bad about where you're at on yours. Okay, reality check. Willpower is finite. You're not always going to feel like it. One of the things that I hear from my clients is, I don't have the motivation. Of course you don't. Motivation comes and goes. I'm done with that excuse. It's over. It's almost 2026. We get it. Willpower doesn't last forever. And extreme restrictions often lead to rebound. So we can't do this whole, I'm going to revamp my entire life, my nutrition, my exercise, my lifestyle. I'm going to clear out the fridge completely and start a whole new life from scratch. It just doesn't work. What I want to see are baby steps. I want to see meet me in the middles. I want to see how many days a week can you commit consistently, no matter what, as opposed to I can do 3 weeks of 5 days a week and then I'm going to fall off the map completely for 6 months. As opposed to I want to see 2 to 3 days a week for a year and beyond that. That's the consistency that lasts and creates lasting change. All right? It's not that your body is resistant to change. It may take a little while to kick in, but it's not going to fight you every step of the way, but it will protect you from extremes. Extremes can be dangerous, both mentally and physically. So your body's going to fight against that. Let's go moderate, gentle and moderate changes. Your body's not going to freak out at you if we do that. Sound good? All right. Blend, blend, blend. It's all about blending. So we're going moderate. We're going to start with making nutritional changes that you can sustain. We're going to cut out the dangerous stuff, okay? If you are overindulging in alcohol, if you're eating fast food, 3 to 5 times a week, those are the things we should be a little more aggressive with. Let's change those up. However, if it's just a matter of adding more protein and vegetables, getting in a vitamin and mineral regimen, eating the rainbow of your vegetables, different things like that. Small changes we can start, and we can start that now, and we can sustain that. Building a gym routine or a home workout routine or a running routine that you can stick to. Those are things that we can do. Try to avoid extremes. Your body is going to fight you on that, mentally and physically. Now, if you have been watching for the last couple of months, I think this is our 16th episode. Wow. That's pretty cool. We're doing all right. I am a nerd. I am a spreadsheet and database nerd. I have multiple different ways of keeping track of progress and goals and habits and all that kind of good stuff. So we want to focus on systems. Focus on repeatable behaviors, not the outcomes. Because then if the outcomes don't happen in the timeline that you think it should, you're going to give up. And it's like that meme of the guy digging for the diamond and he gives up right before he hits the rock. It's right there on the other side. So don't focus on the outcomes, focus on the process. Focus on the repeatable behaviors and the outcomes will come. I promise you, I've seen it 100 times. Habits are going to keep you on track, even at your worst, even when you're tired and you're stressed. Those you have to push through. Now, if you're sick or if you have medical things going on, you need to rest. There's a difference there. If you're traveling, you need to work out a plan with your trainer or with your program to have ways so that your fitness and your nutrition and your health plan can travel. That's just basic stuff as well. Okay. In addition, here's something I want you to think about. And this is something that I did 13 years ago that made a huge difference for me. I want you to think about your identity, who you are. And I want you to start creating a narrative that you're not trying to get healthy. You're not trying to lose weight. This is who you are. You are somebody who works out. You're somebody who prioritizes your nutrition. This is who you are. This is an identity shift. And that makes all the difference in the world. Now, I took it to an extreme. I walked into the gym trying to heal my mental and physical health after a vicarious burnout in a highly stressful mental health field. And I fell so in love with fitness that I didn't just create a whole personality around it. It became my profession. It became, my whole personality. You don't have to go that far, okay? But become a little bit obsessed. Create a space for yourself there. Get to know people. Ask questions. This can be a community. In sociology, we call that the third space. First space is your home. Second space is work and school, church. Third space is a lot of other places, such as, a gym, coffee shop, restaurants where you don't have to keep paying to play, bookstores, those kind of places where you can develop that sense of community and belonging and have conversations with people. And it's an important part of who we are and how we relate to the people around us. And it just so happens that at the gym, you can also use that to get healthy and to get strong. So, great place to create that third space for yourself. Blend, blend, blend. All right? Now, here's the other thing I love to do when I'm thinking about my goals. I don't think about a whole year. I chunk it up into quarters. So, 1 quarter at a time, instead of trying to do either everything all at once in the first couple months, or I'll get to it at the end of the year. This works well because it holds you accountable. And it can help you process bigger projects that might, take a little bit longer. Break it down into chunks so that you can see along the way that you are making progress, even if the big overall project isn't done yet. You're still taking those baby steps. Okay? So break it down into quarters, whether it's, a huge weight loss goal or whether it's you want to do a powerlifting competition or something else like that. Break it down into chunks. All right, let's see what else we got here. Now, one of the other things that you can do for tracking your goals, a couple of different things. First of all, SMART goals. We know what these are at this point, okay? They have to be specific, measurable, attainable. What does the R stand for? Anybody chime in? Anyhow, so SMART goals are incredibly important because you have to know whether or not you're reaching them. It has to be something you actually can reach. You have to be able to measure it, know if you got there or not, that sort of a thing. And then your habits and the little projects that you do along the way feed into those SMART goals, right? So think about that. As you create the bigger goals that you're looking for, the SMART goals, create habits along the way that help you get there. Okay, so that's SMART goals. What else we got? Now, there are lots of fun ways to create visuals. You have vision boards. You have, backgrounds on your phone, backgrounds on your computer, different things to help you stay focused. I did a bingo card last year. You have a free space in the middle, and then you have a 5x5 of the different sorts of goals that I wanted to see myself reach. Some of them were kind of not attainable. They were shoot for the stars. And some of them were incredibly attainable. Pretty darn easy for me. It was a combination of things in the gym, business, personal, traveling with my kids and family, how many books I wanted to read, the physical goals that I wanted to hit as far as body fat percentage, muscle mass, how heavy I wanted to lift in the gym. Blend, that sort of a thing. So lots of different ways to keep track and be able to check off Yes, I did that. Okay. Whether you're visual, whether you want to do a reward after that, like let's say I hit 5 across, then I could, well, this is a bad example. You see the bookshelf back here, but then I could perhaps splurge on one of the more expensive special edition books that I had my eye on, or something like that. So do something to reward yourself when you hit one of those big goals. We're simple creatures, and we like that kind of reinforcement. Point being, you're not failing January. You're learning how to stop quitting on yourself. We've done the New Year's resolutions time and time again. If you've been around the block a couple times, you know you can't do an all or nothing approach. You know that you can't just set a resolution early on in the year, go your hardest, and go balls to the wall for a month and then fall off. We see it all the time in the gym. We call them the New Year's resolutioners, and by February or March latest, they're gone. If we can keep about 20% of those guys and they can create like an actual lifelong change, I'm so happy. I'm impressed. But imagine if they had better systems in place for themselves, better support. If they had gotten to know everybody, if they had created that community, if they had gotten the nutrition on board, if they pushed through some of those big life challenges that came up and they kept going, we could have gotten 50%, maybe even more. And that would be awesome. And that could be you. So I would love to hear back. What are some of the goals? Physical, health, mental, and, business, reading. What are some of the goals that you have set, and how are we going to get there? What are the systems that we're going to put in place? Because without the systems, willpower, it's going to fizzle out. Something will always come up to throw you off. And so the question is, how do you get back on track? How do you have something set up in place so that there's no wagon to fall off of in the first place? This is just who you are and what you do. You will always get back on track, right? I like that. Okay. I appreciate y'all taking the time. One of the biggest accomplishments for me this year was Softcore Detachment and everything that it has become, and is becoming. And I am so excited for next year. Doing a whole big revamp, rebrand, and taking it to the next level. And I just want to say thank you all for your support, your likes, your follows, your discussions, your merchandise purchases of little raccoon sweaters and t-shirts. And thanks for listening, and thanks for following along. I think our next season of podcast is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do a lot of great stuff, and we're learning and we're growing. And I am so grateful to have that opportunity and to have Joni be a part of that as well. So we got some great guest appearance coming up. We're going to try and create more of a routine around that. I would like to have a guest spot like once a month. We'll do more coaches' corners, more guest appearances by Bronx the Ball Licker back here. And we're just having so much fun. So thank you for all of your support. I am so excited for this new year, 2026. And that's the personal trainer and the Capricorn in me. So I'd love to hear more. What do you guys got? What's on the menu? What are the goals? What are the systems? And as you know, you can always reach out and I will help you develop that plan and make it bulletproof and foolproof. All right, I'm going to sign off right here. Blend. Okay, if that was the other thing you learned, blend. All righty, guys. You know that we love you, all your light and all your darkness, and can't wait to see what 2026 brings you. Bye now.